And let's think of this amazing organ as a battery which we can consciously tap into. So can I ask you to put your hands on top of your heart, which is just in the center of your chest, right? And it's easier if you put your feet on the ground and relax and you close your eyes so you can focus on it. And what I'd like you to do is when you breathe in, imagine that this heart energy, and it's a real energy, is going up from your heart, up your throat to your neck. And when you breathe out, it's going down your shoulders, down your arms, and back to the heart again. So you've got a little circuit of heart energy flowing. Breathing in, it goes in the center of your body from your heart up to your neck, shoulders. Breathe out, down your arms, back to your hands. So the in-breath and the out-breath is circulating this heart energy, and those of you who like to think of colour can maybe make it pink or white or gold, whatever you fancy. Nice normal breaths through your nose. Now focusing on your own heart. I believe that your own heart is connecting in a holographic way to everyone else's in this room. But I know you're all very good at this, you're probably all doing it automatically. The idea is to actually feel it in our hands. It's almost like a warmth. And feel it, because we're circulating a real energy here. It's real, it's a pump. Feeling every moment of our lives, day and night. And so almost like the more we think about it, the more our hands are getting a little bit warm, even tingly. And as you've already connected to the unconditional love of my voice, I'm going to suggest that we all focus on this idea, the first quality of the heart. Unconditional love is not romantic love. It's what we feel for a puppy, our niece. If you've got a child, when that child was born, not when it was being naughty and irritating. It's genuine love that whatever that person does, however much, however bad they are to you, in fact, you're always going to love them. And sometimes animals are a good way to think about this, because animals, really give unconditional love much more than humans. So we're kind of bathing ourselves, immersing ourselves as we breathe. And you've done enough circulating now, so we're going to trust that it's happening automatically with our breath, because we've already made the intention that we're circulating our heart energy for the benefit of recharging our own heart. So we can focus on the unconditional love and we can just enjoy that feeling. And the next heart energy is gratitude. Gratitude that we've got a roof over our heads, we have food. We can spend our Sundays at leisure like this. We don't even need to work on a Sunday. Grateful for what we have rather than being ungrateful for what we don't have. Gratitude that we're here together, receiving, giving healing, receiving and giving knowledge, having communion. Every breath we take, we're now circulating the gratitude energy back to our own hearts. Compassion is the third. Compassion for those people in earthquakes, natural disasters, that beggar and homeless person on the street. Compassion literally means being with in pain. The fact that not only do we see people suffering, but we're somehow there with them to support them in thought or energy in their pain. Doesn't mean we share their pain, but we're somehow there to support them in their pain. that English expression, there but for the grace of God go I, is always what I think every time I pass someone who's less fortunate. And that opens the door to compassion. Feel the compassion. Remember the last time that you really felt like this and how it felt to you. Peace. Peace is the fourth heart attribute. When is the last time you truly felt at peace? Go back in your memory. Was it in a beach, in a meditation like this, top of a mountain? That peace that no one can take away and no one can disturb, even if there's a war going on around you. You have your own little island of peace, and that's your own being. Peace and calmness. A lovely, relaxing feeling. Back to the unconditional love, and this time it's for yourself. Love yourself unconditionally means to do what's really good for you, not what your parents expect, your husband expects, or what you think you should be doing due to your upbringing. Rest when you need it. Have fun or exercise when you really want to. And gratitude, the second energy, for yourself, for showing up here today. Could have been sitting around coffee shops reading the papers, but you're showing up. You're making the effort. Well done. Well done for doing your work. Well done. Pat yourself on the back. And the compassion towards yourself, because it isn't always easy, but you keep going. Compassion and self-forgiveness also towards the self. And peace is internal peace, extending to the external. I'm going to tell you as you come around a little story about the heart and my personal practice that I don't share with many people. I think we have miracles all the time in medicine, but with doctors don't, as you just relax and come back, okay? Doctors don't call them miracles, of course. We just say whatever, whatever. It's our job, people get better, whatever. But they happen all the time, and every doctor knows this. A patient comes in with a sore throat, and after 10 minutes of talking, they say, "That's strange, my throat's got better." We didn't give them anything, but they got better. It's a little miracle. So this gentleman comes into my office, the graveyard shift, 5:30 at night on a Friday, and I'm really tired by then, I can tell you, because I do this all week. I work at the coalface. And just the sort of person who triggers my personality. And we're all experienced of this. Certain people just do it. This one's male, tall, middle-aged, thinks he knows everything, and thinks that, I don't know why, but they think people like me are somehow very witchy. I'm totally based in science, but there we are. And I'm a doctor trained in Harvard, but apparently that's not good enough. And he's desperate, that's why he's there, and I get that energy immediately. However, he starts to, and I'm really fantasizing about, having my cocktail down the road at the Mandarin in 30 minutes. I'm deep in my fantasy and thinking, okay, I'll do my best, but how quickly can we get this over? Because for me, it's a difficult energy. And he sits down, I say, "Why are you here? What can I do for you?" I put on my pleasant smile. And is his, literally this is a story of heart opening, my heart opening, because he tells me a story. I've had a headache. I've had a dreadful headache for 3 years, and can't work, I can't sleep, and I've been to all these top doctors, neurologists. I've had brain scans, nothing. They can't find anything wrong, and no one can help me. I said, wow, as anyone would say. I say, well, when did it start? And he says, it started after my daughter got killed in a car crash. So in that, I just dropped my personality baggage, my defensiveness, basically, right? My defensiveness, my mild irritation. And because we're doctors, we're allowed to touch people. It's not yet illegal for doctors to touch people. No one else is allowed to touch anyone in society, but doctors can still touch them, right? And so I went up and we call it examination. And I just felt compelled to touch his forehead. And as I say, I dropped my defensiveness, my baggage. I accessed the compassion of my own heart, a very powerful thing. And we can talk, the cows come home, about what really happens in healing. I have an idea, it's holographic resonance with the universal healing forces. And I don't channel, I don't do anything. I just allow healing to happen by doing this, right? Because I open the compassion of my own heart, I connect to him, and he gets healed. I believe actually what happens is I allow him to do the healing by my connection, which is a different thing from me doing any healing. But the bottom line is, what happened in the office is I put my hand on his forehead for a few seconds, no more than 30, or else it gets weird. And took my hand off and said, oh, that's weird. My headache's gone. First time in 3 years. And, what can you say in a doctor-like way? I say, that's good. Please come back if it returns. And he walks out. And I never heard from him again. Because that's life. That's what happens. Right? That's what happens. And you don't get a word of thank you. You never hear from him again. He doesn't refer anyone, because that's okay. That's okay. It's what you do. And we don't do it to get thanks, because it all comes back. But I think it's interesting that that is an example of what we call mental and spontaneous healing, or a mini miracle. But how does it happen? So I've really got a good grip on how this happens. And that's why I'm encouraging us all to access the power of our own hearts. I believe this happens because, as Jesus said famously, when 2 or more of you are present, I also am there. So my energy, his energy. Right now we've got lots of energy, so it's even better. But it doesn't take much. My energy, as a catalyst with his energy, light energies, opens up a Pandora's box. He can access the healing he requires to get over what undoubtedly was a psychosomatic illness. Deep grief, deep trauma of his daughter's death, making him have a headache, which was extremely real. It wasn't a fantasized headache. The guy couldn't work. He's a really successful, he runs an engineering company. So you all have examples of this, I know. You all do different types of healing. And now I'm here to give you an idea of maybe how this is actually working in a scientific way. So there we are. We had a heart healing experience, and then I shared my story about heart